The BBC are probably the thing in this country that is actually more unpopular than Keir Starmer. The BBC for years has been in scandal after scandal, with their latest being the Hugh Edwards situation. In the days following that scandal, their viewership rating literally has dropped off a cliff. Which is good news. Britons aren't choosing to pay for it no more, and are waking up to what the institution actually is. However, for those of you that did watch it, there was a moment on one of their show this week that seen them have a huge fail, with their lies and misinformation called out. The incident is funny, and so is their reaction. Let's watch and react to it. But first, hit the like and subscribe button and join our fast-growing community. So on the BBC's Question Time, Zia Yusuf rightly said the UK takes more asylum seekers per capita than France, and Fiona Bruce arrogantly shut him down and said he was wrong. She then had to admit he was right. No wonder their viewing figures are declining. Check the clip.
France does take more per capita in terms of asylum seekers than we do. I think Germany might as well, but France takes more per capita. We are quite far down the list.
Can I just come in for a second?
No, let me just... Actually, before we move on, I just want to say, Zia, you are right, in fact, that France takes fewer asylum seekers per capita than the United Kingdom. We take more than that. It's important to get that right. OK.
I love how she just brushes past it. They literally are hilarious, and you couldn't make this stuff up. Let me know in the comments if you still watch the BBC. In other news, Hezbollah's leader Hassan Nasrallah has been killed, following a relentless Israeli bombardment of the Lebanese capital, Beirut. Nasrallah was killed when the Israeli Air Force struck the terrorist organization's central headquarters yesterday, which was located under a residential building in a southern suburb of the city. The IDF added that it also killed Ali Karaki, the commander of Hezbollah's southern front. The Iran-backed group has yet to issue any statement on the status of Nasrallah, who has led the group for 32 years. The Israeli military eliminated Hassan Nasrallah, leader of the Hezbollah terrorist organization, Israeli army spokesperson Avichai Adri wrote in a statement on X. He added, "During his 32 years as leader of the terrorist organization, Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah was responsible for the killing of a large number of Israeli citizens and IDF soldiers, in addition to planning and executing thousands of terrorist acts against the State of Israel and around the world." Nasrallah was the main decision-maker in the organization and had the sole and final say on every strategic decision Hezbollah made, and sometimes on tactical decisions as well. On October 8th, the terrorist organization Hezbollah and its leader Hassan Nasrallah joined the war against the State of Israel. Since then, Hezbollah has continued its attacks against the citizens of Israel and dragged the state of Lebanon and the region into escalation. The IDF will continue to target anyone who promotes and engages in terrorist acts against the citizens of the State of Israel. The Israeli military tweeted, "Hassan Nasrallah will no longer be able to terrorize the world." The Israeli army's chief of staff said the IDF had not emptied its toolbox with the killing of Nasrallah. "This is not the end of our toolbox. The message is simple. Anyone who threatens the citizens of Israel, we will know how to reach them," Chief of the General Staff Herzi Halevi said in a statement. Israel launched a new wave of airstrikes on Beirut's southern suburbs and other areas of Lebanon on Saturday, a day after carrying out the massive attack on the southern suburbs of Beirut, known as Dahiyeh. The intense bombing began just hours after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu gave a speech at the United Nations in New York on Friday afternoon, vowing to continue the fight. Just 3 hours later, Netanyahu gave the green light to the IDF's unprecedented heavy bombardment of the Lebanese capital during a call to Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, who remained in Tel Aviv. In other news, Boris Johnson has revealed that he struggled not to laugh when Penny Mordaunt told him that the issue of trans rights was the most important of our time. The former Prime Minister disclosed the details of the event in his memoirs Unleashed, stating how the former Equalities Minister had raised the issue in a cabinet meeting. During his time as Foreign Secretary under the premiership of Theresa May, both Johnson and his fellow cabinet member Philip Hammond, who served as Chancellor at the time, struggled to keep a straight face when their Conservative colleague made the comment. In his book, serialised by the Daily Mail, Johnson announced that Mordaunt had something very important to talk about, in breathy vicar's daughter tones. The ex-PM wrote, at which point Penny began a long disquisition about gender recognition and the problems of British transsexuals in changing sex. I didn't catch all the details, but it seemed fairly harrowing stuff, and at one point I heard Penny claim, "This is the most important issue of our times." I didn't always agree with Phil Hammond, but I happened at that moment to catch his eye and to see that he, like me, was struggling to contain his amusement. I mean, I could see that this was an issue of huge importance to some people, though surely not that many, and I could see that it needed to be handled with tact and sensitivity. But the most important issue of our times? Really? Johnson outlined how Mordaunt had the support of then Prime Minister May, causing Boris to doubt whether she was truly right-wing or not. He wrote, "There was Theresa, nodding away enthusiastically at what was clearly a presentation organised and approved by Number 10. So was she a right-winger, or was she woke?" During her premiership, May promised to allow trans people to self-change their legal gender without having to see a GP, a practice known as self-ID. Mordaunt was for years a vocal supporter of this policy, but many women's rights organisations believe self-ID can put women at risk by allowing predatory biological men into single-sex spaces. Her stance on trans rights came under scrutiny a couple of years later, when she ran for Tory leader in 2022, forcing her to row back on her support for the issue. Lastly, Tom Parker Bowles, son of Queen Camilla, has provided an update on King Charles's health amid his cancer treatment. Speaking to British Vogue, the 49-year-old shared insights into his stepfather's condition, emphasising the monarch's resilience. Parker Bowles stated that the king is receiving the best treatment available, describing him as a great man and a tough man. He added, "Of course, anyone who has someone they love with cancer is going to worry." He added, "Cancer, it really is a bastard." Despite the challenges, Parker Bowles emphasised the king's determination, stating, "You've just got to get on with it." The update came during an interview about Parker Bowles's upcoming cookbook, Cooking and the Crown, Royal Recipes from Queen Victoria to King Charles III. Parker Bowles also commented on Queen Camilla's strength during this challenging time. "She's tough, my mother." He remains super close with the Queen, who adores her grandchildren, including his kids Lola and Freddie. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.